Good morning, grade 7 learners. Welcome to another fun-filled learning episode of Valenzuela Facebook Live. I hope you are doing well and in good health together with your family and friends as you learn new ideas and concepts in Science 7 today. I am Mrs. Lorzano from Kanumay East National High School, and I will be your teacher for today's episode. Before we start our session, let me remind you to always, number 1, prepare your module, notebooks, and writing materials before the start of the class session. Number 2, focus and listen attentively to what is being discussed. Number 3, participate actively using the comment section and make sure that your comments are always related to the topic at hand. Lastly, and the most important of all, show courtesy at all times, especially when you are interacting with the other students in the comment box. I'm sure you are all well-disciplined students and that you would follow all of these rules. So let's start. All of our Facebook Live episodes are always anchored in melts. Therefore, for today's topic, the most essential competency is for you to describe the characteristics of sound using the concepts of wavelength, velocity, and amplitude. And here are our learning objectives. Number 1, identify the different characteristics used to describe sound waves. Next, determine the relationship of velocity, wavelength, and amplitude. Lastly, describe how fast a sound is. Let's have a short review of your previous lesson. We shall call this heart or X. It's very obvious, right? The rules of this recall activity is very simple. You will just type in the comment section the heart icon if the statement given is true. And you have to comment X if the statement given is not true. You will be given 10 seconds to comment your answers. Let's start. The first statement is, mechanical waves are waves that requires a medium to propagate. Heart or X? Key in your answers now. If your answer is heart, then you are correct. Mechanical waves such as sound waves can only travel and transfer their energies if there is a medium. Next statement is, the lowest point of a wave is called crest. You have 10 seconds. The answer is X, because the lowest point of a wave is called trough. The crest is actually the highest point. I hope you answered number 2 correctly. Number 3. Solid, liquid, and gases are media in which mechanical waves could travel. Type in your answers now. The correct answer is, that's right, heart. Mechanical waves such as tsunamis can travel long distances because of the bodies of water. Here's the next statement. There are 2 types of waves, transverse and longitudinal waves. Heart or X? 10 seconds. And your answer is? Very good, heart. You must have gotten 4 correct answers now. Good job, learners. Let's continue. Statement number 5. Electromagnetic waves travel through solid and liquid media only. Heart or X? Timer starts now. The answer is X. You got it right. Very good. This is because electromagnetic waves such as UV rays, X-rays, and gamma rays can travel in empty space. Congratulations, grade 7 learners! You got them all correct. It just shows that you understood the lesson last time. Now, we shall discuss today's topic. Do you know how sounds are produced? Let's listen to some sounds that we usually hear every day. Can you guess what are they? Type in your guess in the comment box. Correct. These sound waves are waves crashing on the beach. Let's guess another one. If you think that someone is eating, then you are correct. Aren't these easy to guess? Let's have another one. If your answer is playing guitar, then you are correct. Someone is definitely playing with the guitar. You're so good in this guessing game of sound, grade 7 learners. I guess you are all great listeners. Amazing! Have you tried singing, grade 7 learners? Sorry. I believe my hidden talent should always be hidden. However, you could do that. And when you try to sing, place your hand in your throat and you should be able to feel vibrations. You can even do them while you talk. Sounds are longitudinal mechanical waves that are produced through vibrations. Just like earlier when you practice singing, you could feel the vibrations of your vocal cords because it is making a sound. Have you wondered why do you hear sounds? It's because sound waves travel through different media. These media are liquids, such as water, solids, like the electronic gadgets that we use every day, and gases, like the air we breathe. Sounds cannot travel without a medium or media. It cannot travel through an empty space because in a vacuum, there will be no molecules to allow it to propagate. Just like when you travel to outer space. Sounds also travel fastest in solid, slower in liquids, and much slower in gases. This is because the molecules of solids are very close to one another in comparison to liquids and gases. Let's take a look at the video representation of how fast do sound waves travel in different media. The closer the molecules are to one another, the faster the propagation of sound. And the farther the molecules are to one another, the harder it is to transmit sound. That's why we can immediately hear when someone is tapping a table, playing a musical instrument, or even knocking on doors. notice how would you usually see the lightning first before you hear the thunder? It's because sounds travel slower mid-air. Can you still remember your classroom discussions pre-pandemic days? Your teacher would most likely close the door during discussions, right? So that your classmates sitting at the back could still hear your teacher clearly. Remember that sound travels slower in air, making it harder for you to hear your teacher if you are surrounded with many air particles. This is also the same reason why movies and plays are held at enclosed spaces like cinemas and theaters that also have soundproof walls. Sounds are waves, and therefore have the characteristics of any wave, such as speed, frequency, and wavelength of a wave, which have been mentioned in the previous lesson. Sound waves are characterized by the following. Loudness. It is a measure of the intensity of a sound. Intensity. It is measured in terms of energy that a sound wave has. Its unit is called decibels. Higher decibels means greater intensity and louder sounds. Here is a graph showing various noises or sounds that the human ear can handle. Loud sounds that have an intensity of 80 decibels and higher can damage and may cause permanent loss of our hearing. The intensity of a sound also depends on its amplitudes. Amplitudes are defined as the displacement of a wave from the resting position or baseline. Higher amplitudes have higher energy and are louder, and lower amplitudes have less energy, thus they are softer. How fast is a sound? Since sounds are waves in general, its speed can be determined by solving for the wave velocity, which is denoted by this formula. Whereas the velocity of a wave is equal to the wavelength multiplied by its frequency. Given the sample problem, a sound wave has a wavelength of 0.045 meters and has a frequency of 285 Hz. How fast does the wave travel? We multiply wavelength with frequency and the wave speed is 12.825 meter per second. This formula only proves that sound waves with greater wavelength have lesser frequencies. Thus, they are much slower. And sound waves with lesser wavelength have higher frequencies and are therefore have greater speed. To summarize and assess what you have learned today, here is a short quiz. Comment the letter of your best answer in the comment section. I will give you 10 seconds to answer. Number 1. In which medium does sound travel faster? Liquid, B. Solid. The answer is B. Solid. Good job, grade 7 learners. Let's move on to the next question. What do we call the unit used to determine the intensity of a sound? A. Decibels, B. Hertz. If you answered A, you are correct. Great job! Next question. Which of the following pictures showing amplitudes of waves indicates a louder sound? The answer is B. Higher amplitude means louder sound. Next question is, which of the following sound characteristics would also be greater if there are more frequency of sound waves? A. Pitch. B. Wavelength. The correct answer is A. Pitch. Remember that frequency is directly proportional to pitch. Number 5. In which of the following would sound waves be faster? A. Greater wavelength. B. Greater frequency. And the answer is B. Greater frequency means faster sound. How many correct answers did you get? 5? That's great. It means you fully understood our lesson. Good job, grade 7 learners. To further enhance your skills in this lesson, kindly do the following activities in your module. For today's question and answer, I am going to choose 3 questions from the comment section. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, you may type them now. Okay. I got a question here from a learner in Vicente P. Trinidad National High School. He says, do light waves also travel like a sound wave? Light exists as both particle and wave. Thus, light do not travel the same way as sound waves do. They also could travel without a medium or in empty space, unlike the sound waves. When you go to outer space, light exists, but sound does not. Second question. This is from a learner in Lawang Bato National High School. He says, why is that my voice seems to be much better when I sing in the bathroom? When someone is singing in the bathroom, the walls of the bathroom allow the sound waves to bounce back, which gives your voice an echo effect. Thus, your voice becomes more powerful, richer, and louder. Last question from Bagbagin National High School. Does the temperature of air and water affect the movement of sounds? Yes, it does. Heat allows particle of matter, may it be solid, liquid, or gas, to move faster. It gives them more energy. Therefore, sounds can also travel faster if its medium is hotter, and it travels slower if the medium is colder. I hope I have satisfied your curiosity, grade 7 learners. For your other queries, you may address it to your science teacher during your follow-up discussion. There you have it, grade 7 learners. I hope you learned a lot and had fun with today's lesson. Thank you for listening and participating in our class today. Always keep safe, happy, and well. God bless everyone.